Hey everybody, thanks so much for being here. You know, it is Giving Tuesday today, and we're looking at promoting this conversation beyond that as we head into the future of the organization. Our phrase at the moment is building our future brick by brick, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But hopefully lots of folks are going to see this, and so let's tell them who they are. Let's start over here.
My name is Kevin Reynolds. I've been with the organization for 15 years or so. And you'll find me doing any number of different things, on stage, off stage, backstage, in the pit, just whatever's needed. That's where you'll usually find me doing stuff.
I'm going to jump back and work towards the middle.
Hi, I'm Christina DiCarlo. I'm the Associate Artistic Director, and I've been with the Augusta Players for 4 months.
Hello, my name is Michael Bailey. I have been involved, years since about 2005. Junior players through adults, off and on. And I am generally on stage, but I have recently, over the last couple of years, been on the board as well.
And we're glad you are. I'm Scott Seidel, the Artistic and Executive Director of the organization, in my 8th year here at Augusta.
My name is Juliet Mukenge. I've been involved in Augusta Players since 2003.
I'm Amy Patton. I am the Vice Chair of the board. I came on board with the Augusta Players 15 years ago. Kevin and I were in the same first season. He beat me out for most valuable newcomer.
She'll never let you get
My name's Ryan Abel. I'm the board chair. I'm in my 2nd year in office. I've been on the board for going on 5 years. I've been in the organization since 05. So 18, so Juliet's got me by a couple of years, you sneaky. But other than that, pumped to be here, on stage, off stage, donations, whatever it takes to make it happen.
Yeah, I think that's where we're all at right now, right?
Yeah.
The future that we have. So our future, if you haven't heard, is we bought a building and we're sitting in it right now. That's where we're coming to you from that building right now. And when I say bought, our name's on the dotted line, but we have a lot to do with the building, and that's where you come in. But before we talk about that, we want to talk about why this organization is important to us, and important to our community, and important to the arts community of Augusta too. I have a lot of thoughts and feelings on that, but I would love to hear yours. I talk all the time.
So when I first got involved with the organization, I think like most people who think about theater or being involved in theater, you want to perform, or you want to be involved in the performance aspect. And so that's kind of what drew me in. And as I came in, I met this really great community of people who spent their time together, who spent their resources on each other, who cared about each other, and beyond what happens on stage. And that's, I think sometimes it's a pity that we think of ourselves as community theater, because a lot of times that gets ranked as like the level of theater that you're performing at, which we're great. But I think when I think of community theater, it's so much bigger than that. It's not like the level of performance. It is a holistic involvement of the people that are part of the group, and how we connect with each other, and how we do life with each other, and how we help each other through the hard times, and how we reach out to the community around us and can be a light to people, saying, hey, there is a place that's safe, there is a place that you'll be cared for, there is a place of acceptance, and there is a place where people will love on you and be part of your life and help to enrich it.
So very, very quick story. I love that thought about how this organization is so welcoming. So you've been involved for a long time, Juliet, but you've also, there have been large spans of time where you haven't, because of life or whatever choices, couldn't be involved. And one of my favorite things, in 2019, we had auditions for Ragtime, and you hadn't been around for a while.
Like 15 years.
Yeah.
Just a year or two.
You came to your audition.
Husband and 3 kids later.
You came to your audition and you saw someone you hadn't seen in a while, and literally like bolted across the room and jumped on that person, right? Because it was family. It was someone that was important to you in an organization that was important to you. And I think we all probably have similar kinds of stories where, you know, someone may be gone for a while, but as soon as they walk in the room, it's like they haven't gone wrong. That's the day I met you as well, and I feel like I've known you since 2003.
Right? You know, that's why, you know, my favorite thing about, and I wasn't looking for the Augusta Players. I was literally drug kicking and screaming to my first show, which was Good on the Roof 2005. But fabulous show, I loved it. But I literally still have it, and it's in my letter for as the board chair. I literally have lifelong friends that I met that first day. And I still remember meeting Mara and Kaylee and Melissa and John Hutchins. You know, these are people that have been a close part of my life for 18 years now, you know. But it's a connection that lasts forever, you know, it lasts forever.
So those are things that make it personal and important to us, right? But I think we're also having such a tremendous impact within the community itself too, beyond our day-to-day interactions with each other. I think back again to ragtime, and I was standing out in front of the theater as people were walking out, and they were weeping. They were weeping because of what they had just witnessed, and it changed their life. It changed how they thought about things because what we shared with them on that stage, and the story that we told, the way that we told it. And I think about, like, this is my why. This is why I'm still involved. This is why I'm going to make sure that as we head into this new era of our organization and this building and ultimately a capital campaign to pay for all this stuff, my why is the summer of 2018. When I started with the Augusta Players, I didn't know that Camp Wonderland existed. No one had told me. Like, it wasn't until well into that first year that it was even talked about. I went to the showcase that first summer in 2018. And the showcase, for those that might not know, right, Camp Wonderland is an arts camp for young people with autism spectrum disorder. It runs for 2 weeks, and on the last day, it's like a show and tell, right? Because these young people who are paired up one-to-one with young people from the Augusta Junior Players, whose lives are also transformed. They can't do a public performance, but family and friends, close friends come in, and they kind of present what they've been working on for the past couple of weeks. And I sat in the back, and there was a gentleman not far from me who he himself was in a wheelchair. And he was the father of one of the campers. And I get choked up every time I think about it. And as he watched his son on the stage, he just started sobbing because his son was doing things that he never thought were possible. And that's my why, because we make that happen as an organization. The programs that we present, you know, we're premiering this year the Augusta Readers Theater for Senior Citizens. One of my favorite new programs. I haven't had a chance to be in the room yet, but I've seen the photos, and it's just the most incredible thing to see these people get to share this art with each other. But that day in 2018, I go back to it. At any time the job gets hard, or rehearsal is long, or the money is short, I think about that day and how important it is that we keep going.
I think that's really important. I, not too long ago, talked to my mom about making a donation to the Augusta Players, and she very sheepishly went, I like to give money to like organizations that help people. It was a knife to my heart. My mother did not understand how much this organization impacts the people of the community. That we have education programs, that we have the camp for young people with autism. But even than that, more than that, like, it's not just about performing shows.
Right.
It's about the community, it's about the people connection. Back when we were watching, when we did Matilda, I remember watching those girls out there performing that show, and I have some business background, and I just started thinking about emotional intelligence and empathy and transformative leadership, those qualities that we really want, those soft skills that are so needed in the workforce to lead people. And how do you get those things? How do you develop those things? How do you train those things? It's not just through academics, it's through investing in people holistically and developing character and training them to understand themselves and to have a better understanding of the people around them and how to navigate those relationships. And that's what theater does. Like, when I think about the next generation and who's going to be leading them, it's going to be theater kids. So I think it's such an important organization for personal growth and development and support in the community.
A handful of us here have a couple of mutual friends that I would love to introduce to your mom.
Yeah.
Because they have said to me face to face that if it weren't for the Augusta Players, they would not be alive today. Because of this family, because they had a safe place to go, they made that choice instead of the other choice that ultimately would have ended their life. So that's what I would say to your mom. We're making a difference in a very real way.
Yeah.
The shows we do at the Imperial Theater can have an impact ragtime, as an example.
Yeah.
But it's those shows that are helping pay for things like Camp Wonderland and the Augusta Junior Players and Augusta Readers Theater for Senior Citizens and our summer camps and all the other things that we have out in front of us right now.
And as someone who, as I said previously, I started with Junior Players, main stage, and I'm now on the board, being able to be a part of these bigger conversations, it shows a very large testament to where we are going and how much of the conversations that we're having have been changing the committees that we have, the importance that we're putting on our education, bringing different people into the room, onto the stage and off of the stage, really getting into depth about how we can connect with all of our people within the community. It shows, at least for me, how much this organization can do and is able to do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we were just a theater company, right? You put if we just did shows.
It would be so much easier.
It would be and it wouldn't be, right? Because I don't think, I can't speak for anybody other than myself. I wouldn't give half the time or half of the resources or half of my emotional or capacity that I give toward an organization, because I know in myself the difference, not only that I've seen it make in friends' lives, but the difference that it's made in my life. For me, I as a young man who grew up in the South, who grew up in church, but also grew up in the sports fields, I never really understood, because I'm a big guy, and I grew early, so I was good at sports, and I just happened to be able to sing. So I was the weirdo that could live in both planes. But what I always thought about when I got older, as you're able to reflect, now what about the kids who, they don't like sports? They don't like it, they don't connect with that, they don't connect with the physicality, or it's just not their thing, Should those kids just not be able to experience the things that theater brings and the things that sports brings, that camaraderie, coming together, pulling off something that is greater than just one person. And I think it's absolutely, in meeting other people from other neighborhoods and other religions and other diverse cultures, and putting all of that aside to go just accomplish this goal of being the best you can be. And if you win, you lose, who cares? If you go and you do the best you can, I can always look back and I can say, well, I can't always say it. I can't say there were some shows in my career that I was like, I didn't really go for that one. And I might not have should have done it. But, there's some shows where I look back and whether people enjoyed it or and I'm sure they did, but to me, it was the journey, right? I know I gave everything I had. I did that as good as I possibly could. And there's something, growth there that allows you to go, yeah, you had to work for it. And it wasn't something you could just walk in and pull off. It teaches so many life lessons. Theater and being a part of a community like this. But I do often, and that's, for me, in my position, who I am, I have that platform on the athletic side, right? So I get to speak to that, to go, yeah, your son might be a killer athlete. But what about your other son who does not care about baseball? Don't you want this individual, don't you want your child or your daughter to experience these same elements just in a different package? And the answer is always, well, I never thought of it like that. And communities always turn around and they give so much money to sports and to ball fields and those things. And we don't want to talk bad about those things. I love them.
They're all important too.
They're absolutely important. But I think a lot of times the arts gets overlooked because there are a lot of kids in Augusta, Georgia, in the greater community of the greater Augusta area, North Augusta, Aiken, all these communities, Columbia County. They need groups like the Augusta Players. they really do, to become their best selves, to thrive in their best way, they need organizations like this. And that's why I really, really am focused on what we're doing, even when it does get hard and frustrating and tiresome, which it does. Anything worthwhile is going to be that. And, you know, if it wasn't hard, everybody would do it.
Yeah, I've been, we just did a staff training recently, and the leader of the training was talking about, in business, the finite game versus the
Oh, let's
game.
go. That's my boy. You know, that's my boy.
Right. And in the finite game, you're trying to win. You're trying to be better than something or someone else. And in the infinite game, you're trying to be the best you can be. You're trying to be the best version of you. And I feel, especially with the other arts organizations in the area right at the moment, we're not trying to be better. You know, we're trying to support what they do because they're doing great work as well. They're creating great art. But what we really want to do is be the best that we can be. And this future that's ahead of us, I think, is going to be a ginormous step in that direction. It's going to help us really continue to grow into the best version of ourselves, which will then change and continuously evolve, right? That's the whole point. Like we're never going to be at the end of the game. We're going to be continually moving forward. It's one of the reasons that I'm excited you're here. I've been blessed to have an incredible career, and so far the apex of it has been the Augusta Players. I'm so proud of us as an organization. But I also know that I'm not the future. I'm the one to help facilitate us getting to the future. And people like you are the future of the organization, right? People like you guys.
And I think that's the beauty of an organization like this, is that, you know, there are seasons, and it's not about, I want people to think about, you know, Amy Patton in a glamorous or glorious way, or Ryan in a glorious way. I want them to say they worked hard and I want them to be able to say, you know, they did right by the organization, and they honored those who came before them, and they set those who followed them up for success.
The opportunities in front of us right now. We're poised to make one of the biggest differences in this organization and in this city and in this arts community that has ever happened. It's going to take all of us, every single one.
And our brothers, and our aunts,
Yes.
and our grandmas.
I think what's really key, my background is like community health specialty. So when you come into a community, you want to make sure that you have something that people can have buy-in on, or else it won't thrive, much less survive. So as I was thinking about, okay, wow, investing in this building, what does that hold for us? What possibilities can that present? It's a tangible presence of something other than what goes on stage. Being that with the building set up, with a home, you have somewhere for people to come. You may be able to invite artists or invite certain arts therapists or music therapists who can come and have kids come, have adults come and experience hands-on what's going on, for workshops, or mini workshops, or give them a chance to do a one-act play and get a taste of what it is, what the teamwork, what the camaraderie, what it feels like. Because some folks in the community may feel like that's for them, not for us. But when you bring a home and you invite people into your home, you let them know, yeah, you're welcome. It doesn't matter what your day job is, or what statistics said you were going to be able to do, or whether you got cut from whatever team, or whether you were told, maybe not on stage, maybe you can design sets. My son was like, no, I decided to do props. I don't want to dance. They put me in this dance class, but I want to do props. I want to do sets. And I thought about Kevin and his crew, and I'm like, you can see it all here. Even if it's kids who are going to be on stage, or adults who are going to be on stage, or those who say, I want to have a hand in the arts, but maybe not in front of everybody.
Yeah, different
Buku of the work goes on behind the scenes and in the wings. That's what I tell folks. That's where the real magic happens, before, during, and after. But by giving Augusta and the CSRA, giving the Augusta Players a home to invite the CSRA to, that will really help. And that will really give people something to see and touch and fully experience.
I
And
think
that,
you just touched on something that we all want to jump in on, right? So, we're all like, oh, wait, very, very quickly, and I'll pass it to you, Kevin, because I know I can see you chomping at the bit. What most of you don't know is first of all, it's unfathomable to me that after going into 80 years, we've never had a home
Right.
that is ours.
Yeah.
How is that possible? How is that possible
To be
for 80
homeless that
years
long.
we've been nomadic? That blows my mind. But what most of you don't know is we've started putting themes to our seasons, right? This year is the season of dreams. Next year's theme is called Finding Home.
nice.
And
I didn't know that. I didn't.
right, it's a perfect segue, and I love that thought of we're going to have a home, and we want to invite all of you to be a part of that home. What were we going to say?
Well, I'm just saying, Julie, what you just encapsulated, we've been talking about those very things for a long time now. This isn't the first place we've ever looked at, the place that we're in right now. This isn't the first vision that we've had. But it always included the vision of being bigger than just a building. We could have gotten a building. You can put up a building anywhere. But the location of this building, the purpose of this building, there will be some challenges. Having everything in the same building. All of those things we've talked about them, we've planned, we've looked at it and said, well, if we do this, we can't do this, and the fact that we're a block away from other arts organizations and creating a downtown theater district, you can call it, or arts district, is all part of the bigger picture of what we're bringing to Augusta. And we've thought about all of that stuff. It's just amazing that you just really encapsulated the fact that it's not just a building. What's the facility going to? What is the facility of the building going to be? Downstairs underneath us, we're going to build stuff. Up here, we're going to dance and tap and teach
And learn and grow.
and have all of those things and expand more. The fact that we have a new program this year, and we had a new program last year. How many junior player shows are we doing this year? I mean, there's countless. All of that.
27.
All of that feeds into the whole idea that we can't. We're just not going to do 4 shows a year. We're just going to, we're going to do all of these things, and we're going to do it here, and be a part of the community that's here as well. So when you say coming home, people will begin to understand.
And what excites me the most about this is that now we have the potential. I'm not going to say that we're going to do it because I don't know all the bells and whistles, and I think we're going to figure it out too in some capacity, which is an exciting journey. But we now have the capacity to tell those people not, hey, no thanks, and come back in 3 or 4 weeks or 3 or 4 months when we audition again. It's like, no, not for this one, but I tell you what, here's some areas that you could work on. Oh, and by the way, here's opportunities for you to do that. Now we have, your dance isn't where it needs to be right now, but we have this that we can provide you. If you're willing to put in the work, if you're willing to put in the time, you can hone that craft.
Yeah, I agree. And just going off that, just having a moment in what you said about workshops and classes, it's all tools, right? Tools we need to learn of how to perform, how to work backstage, and having an actual front door people can walk into to build those tools, to take a workshop, to take a class, to say, hey, not this show, but we need an assistant stage manager. Come home and learn how to do that. So everyone is adding to their toolbox. They're not just an actor, but they can work backstage. They can help with costumes, and altogether we get well-rounded theater artists who are also well-rounded community members, and that's how we make our expansion really with this building and opening that front door.
So I think we all agree the organization is important to us. I think that we can all agree that the organization is important to this community. We've got work to do to make sure that they know how we can make an impact in their lives and what opportunities are out there for them, and that they have a place in this home, this new home. And now the challenge is to make it happen. And it's a big challenge. It's huge. And the first step is, like with anything else, is raising money. And so on Giving Tuesday of the month ahead, and the year ahead, the years ahead, that's going to be a big part of our job as people that are passionate about this organization. And that's why we turn to our community. You know, for 80 years almost, we have been serving the community. We've been providing service to the CSRA. And now we have to ask them. We have to ask them to help us. I feel like we've been helping our community, and we have to turn it around. And so today we're reaching out to you to ask you to be a part of this legacy. And there are lots of ways that you can do that. Short term, this first program that we're starting is called Building Our Future Brick by Brick. You have an opportunity for a $250 donation or pledge, or a group of people can do it, to buy a brick that'll exist in this building, and you can put your name on it, you can dedicate it to somebody, you can make it an important part of your legacy by making this building happen. There are other opportunities for other parts of the building. You can sponsor a door or a window or a room or lots of different things, but we're going to start with this one, Building Our Future Brick by Brick. It's important. What we do is important. And we're doing it for you, not just for ourselves. We're doing it for Augusta. So very quickly, because I think we're about to run out of time here, why do you think somebody should make a donation to Augusta Players?
I think we already said it. There's different ways to get into the family and to be a participant. Some people are patrons, some people are participants. If you want to make a crossover and to be a participant, there's opportunities to do that. But we need patrons. We need people that understand all of that we've talked about here in terms of the programs that we have.
And I would also say that, you know, we're fortunate to have lots of people that donate annually.
Sure.
You know, they either through a birthday fundraiser or on Giving Tuesday or whatever, when they buy their season tickets.
Or Club 45?
Or Club 45, where you, for just $10 a month, you can be part of that club. But this is a once in a lifetime thing. So we're reaching out to ask people to dig a little deeper. Right. You know, a brick is $250. My family has committed to several of them already. I'm going to do it personally. A lot of casts from our shows are already doing that. So because this is a once in a lifetime thing, we're going to ask that you really think about it and also share our mission with everybody else, because that's another way you can help, right? Is to help us spread this message. I'm not originally from here, and so my circle is fairly finite, but I know people all over this country, and you can sure as heck bet that I'm going to reach out to every single one of those people and say, get your name on this one.
Yeah, I'm calling Amy's mom, and I'm like, let me tell you something, Amy's mom.
So,
And I'm back.
so I think that we have these legacy moments, right? As a community, like as an Augusta community, and also as a theater community, and then for the Augusta Players. We've been around for 80 years, 80 consecutive operating seasons. And we're growing. We're going to be around, Lord willing, for a very long time, and part of this community for a very long time. And this is a legacy moment, right? Where the community and the theater patrons and the theater participants have an opportunity to build on where we are and who we will become. And I love Christina said something earlier about building well-rounded theater patrons and performers who are also well-rounded and involved community members. And I think that's really at the heart of what we're doing is we're going through downtown revitalization, we're working on building who we are as a city, we're working on creating a downtown theater district, we're investing in what Augusta's identity is as a city and enriching that. And this is a legacy point for being able to be part of that. And what an easy way to be part of that, like buying a brick. Yeah.
So in this post, there'll be a link where people can find out more and make a donation. Or if you're seeing this in a different format, just reach out to us at the Augusta Players. Go to our website, augustaplayers.org. Our emails are there, our phone number's there. It's easy to do. But most importantly, spread the word.
Yeah.
Like, help us in that way. Please make a donation. That's huge. Costs a lot of money to renovate a building this big, but just get involved by spreading the word and help us tell this story to the larger community. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for being here tonight.
Thank you.
And we'll see you at the show.